it's Mia here, and welcome back once again. Today, I didn't much feel like gaming because I've been gaming a lot between Pokemon ZA, which the getting the rest of the Pokedex in that game is gonna take me a while because I'm on the Mega Dimension DLC, and some of those are obtained by getting um, special scans, and you have to do hyperspace surveys to be able to even get a scan in the first place. And even though you do the scans for those Pokemon, like those hyperspace zones, you're not guaranteed to get the Pokemon that you're missing from the Dex. So it's random. I hope there's a way to I can save before scanning, and then once it scans, if I don't get a scan that I need, I could exit the game and go back in. Because that's going to be a lot of berries and a lot of diving in and out of hyperspace to get the rest of the Pokedex. And on top of um, playing a lot of Pokemon ZA, I game out with my brother a lot. So I just kind of wanted to take a break from gaming and just kind of hang out. Also, it didn't help that my aunt got me a coloring book and it's dragons. Dragons! I'm pretty sure it's AI because some of this stuff looks really wonky. Like the first one I did was this one right here, and that second horn, not where's my finger? Not this one, but this one. It was just those two little bumps at the bottom. I had to fix the horn. So I think this is AI, but my aunt bought it for me, so I am gonna color it. And the one I'm working on right now, I've been working on it for a couple of days now, but it's big, is this one. Oop, almost dropped the book. I'm trying to make, I can't tell where I am because I can't see over the book. I'm trying to make Tarin from Fourth Wing, the book series. Like, I've never used this much black in a coloring before, and it's kind of odd. Usually I don't go for black because I feel like I have a hard time blending it together. But I've been keeping a paper in between them because this has a tendency to bleed onto other pages. Like just when I was coloring the second one, the second page, you can tell that the ink from this one got on this page. So it's not the best quality book, but it's freaking awesome because it's dragons. And my aunt got it for me out of the blue Saturday because she was doing some online shopping and she got me this and my grandma some watercolor stuff. So I'm kind of more in the mood to color than I am to game. No, I didn't make the fudge. Making, like, baking is stuff that I usually do with my grandma. Baking is stuff I normally do with my grandma. Because she's always willing to try new recipes and we have fun making recipes together. I tried that, you know how you told me to put tan on the teeth? I went ahead and tried that. I don't know if it comes, I can't even see where it is. Where are you? Where are you? Not that way. Up, that way. I don't know if it comes through on the camera really well, but I put the tan on the teeth. And I like it. This is so much black. So much black. I tried to change it with silver on the horn and silver on like the bottom. I wouldn't even say, where am I? I'm backwards. Silver on the what? Silver on those like fangs. I don't even know if they're, I don't know if they're just spikes or if they're fangs, but I made those silver to match the horns and the scaly details of the stomach area. And then he's got a golden eye. I'm thinking about making this background. I don't know where I am. This background like purpley with like tan mountains down here. And I put the lightning in the background because if you've never read Fourth Wing, the dragons in that book bond with their rider and they give their rider certain abilities. Well, Taran, the big, angry, huge black dragon, gives his rider the ability to wield lightning. So I put that in the background, and I've never made lightning, so we're gonna play around and see how it works. But I figured since I'm not really in the mood to game, and I am in the middle of a coloring page that has taken me a while already, I figured we could do a just chatting stream and we could talk while I did my coloring. Because I want to work on it. I don't have a way to like show you it as I'm coloring. So sorry for that. But I can like stop and show you my process. I don't know if purple and tan is going to look good. Because I was going to do like, purple for the sky with like light blue and whitish for the lightning with tan down at the mountainside. But we'll see how it looks. Also, I'm imprinting the picture on this scrap piece of paper when trying to color because it's on the back of the first one I did. Because I don't start at like the beginning of the book. I don't usually start in the beginning of the book. This is the second one I've done. I can show you the first one I did. But I already showed you kind of what I did, but I don't know what happened, but for some reason, when I saw this dragon, the first thing I thought was Simba from The Lion King as a dragon. So that's what I did. I don't know why that was the first thing I thought. It just happened. So I rolled with it. And thankfully, this one doesn't have a background. Like some of these backgrounds, which is why I'm like, okay, this has gotta be an AI made coloring book. Because not only did some of the things not make any sense whatsoever, like with the whole fact that um, the back horn on this one did not exist. It was just the two little bumpies at the bottom, so I had to make it. And that was not a design choice. I had to draw that horn in because the original art just didn't have it. But there are also, if you continue farther on into the book, I think this one would look badass green, like a toxic green, and play around with that because it's the one that looks the most like a snake. I want to do that one green. And my grandma suggested that I do this one, that I do, where am I? Goodness. That, nope, this way. That I do, you think I'd get it down at this point, but that I do this one in like light blue, teal, and stuff. But, there's that. So I could show you, like, here's a good example. I accidentally flipped all the way to one. Like this one. How are you supposed to color that one when it's already a fully rendered drawing? Like, it's fully finished. And then this one on the other side looks blurry as can be in the face, like the lines have been smudged. And this one's like virtually uncolorable. So that's the two biggest like things that give away to me that it is AI. But my aunt got it for me and I'm gonna color it. And it's dragons. So I can't complain. Are you guys working on anything fun? Any little art projects or random stuff that you're working on? Because that would be fun. I will say, I have never used this much black in a coloring page before. I'm surprised I have black pencils left. Like, this is crazy. Normally, I avoid black because, I don't know, working with black just scares me, but I'm like, I really think that this dragon right here is similar to what I was picturing Taran in my head. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna turn him into Taran from uh, the Fourth Wing series, which I still haven't finished Onyx Storm. I don't know if I'm just locked by how many books I have, and I'm like, oh, I have so many books that I have, and so many books that I want to read, and I'm also tired of reading and want to take a break. And then I got Pokemon ZA and got really stuck playing that. And I may or may not have gotten Pokemon Legends Arceus because I was enjoying ZA. And before you come for me, I didn't know that Legends ZA was a sequel to Pokemon Legends. Thinking about it now, it's kind of a duh. But I went into Legends ZA kind of blind because my brother got it for me because he wanted to play a Pokemon game. And he's like, "Oh, we could play it together and battle and trade and do all that together." But the battle system when it comes to playing with other players is not as fun as it used to be. But that doesn't really bother me because I'm not someone that really cared about battling other players. So I usually don't do that. The only reason I did it in the first place was one, my brother wanted to, and then two, there was a couple of the Mega Stones that, in order to get them, you have to do the Battle Royale in multiplayer. And I was like, well, that sucks because I'm a person that very much not only likes to beat the Elite Four, which there wasn't really an Elite Four in ZA, I found out, but I'm very much someone that likes to complete the Pokedex, which the randomization of the Mega Dimension is kind of annoying because of that fact. And yeah, but I'm trying. So I'm gonna work on this while we chat. I don't know if I'm gonna get it done because I was so far today when I sat down with it, I got the teeth done and the horns. The rest I got done. That I got done. I started from like the bottom up and I got all that done. I was working on it until 4 in the morning last night. It was bad. I was like, uh, I got done watching The Truman Show for the first time with my brother, and it was like 1 in the morning by the time that I came in here. I'm like, I'm just gonna chill and draw because I just want to chill by myself for a bit and just not draw but color. And before I knew it, it was like 4 a.m. and I'm like, gee, no wonder I'm so tired. I better go to bed. Better go to bed. But I get so stuck in like Minecraft or coloring and painting or Pokemon Z. I don't know. Like, Minecraft gets me stuck so hard. Painting and coloring get me stuck so hard. And I got stuck on the ZA like so bad. Even my brother, who is very much a gamer and that's his main hobby, was like, I think you need to take a break. I'm like, I have taken breaks. I've gone on walks. I've worked on YouTube. I've cleaned. I've done stuff. Like, I'm not like that stuck on it. But anyway, I don't know why I get like that. It's like when my brain sees task, my brain is like, it must be done before I move on. And I don't know why I do that. So, like, not being able to finish this yesterday, I was like, well, here we go. So, I don't know why my brain does that. Apparently, my grandma says I get that from her. Because when I was working on the Simba dragon, as I so dubbed it, when I was working on this one, I was at her house. And this was sitting on the end table, and I'm like, what is this? And she goes, oh, you found that, did you? And I was like, yeah. Why do you have a dragon coloring book? And she goes, I don't. It's for you. And I was like, well, you didn't have to do that. And she goes, well, your aunt was shopping again, and she got me some watercolor supplies and you a coloring book. So here we are. And then Grandma was working on one of her paintings, and I just sat down to color and stuck with it. I had church at 7 in the morning and stayed up till almost 2 a.m. because I worked on that. And then I did some journaling about my day because I'm still doing the daily journal. But yeah, and then I was sitting there saying, we can do something else if you want to, because this might take me a while. Because I go to my grandma's to spend time with my grandma, whether that be making new recipes or watching stuff that we find cool to watch, or going on walks, or being in the garden, having tea and reading together. Like, not to sit there and color. You know, I go there to spend time with her. And I love spending time with her. She's she's awesome. But I was like, we can do something else. I don't know if it's just me, but I for some reason, well, how did I say it? I was like, we can do something else. I just feel like I get super stuck on tasks when I start them. Because, like, when I start a task, I don't want to stop until the task is done. And she just smiles and goes, I think you get that from your grandma. And I said, oh, it's your fault, huh? It's your fault. But, yeah, I'm very task minded. I try not to be, but yeah, I'm definitely not a person to be late either. If I'm late, there's a problem. Or I just genuinely, like, completely wiped that from my memory and was like, I forgot. But I'm rarely ever late. My grandma always laughs at me because when I do spend the weekend at her house, I'm ready by 11 in the morning. I mean, that was bright. Hello. I'm playing music in the background. You can't hear it because it's copyrighted, so I have my desktop audio off. But, ooh, but I like spending time with her. The goal is to get this done today, but I'm not sure if I will. And it's not like, oh, wait, I need that black. Why am I making it like it's a horn? It's part of the scales. But I don't know. I find it relaxing. And that's what this stream can be if you want. We can just vibe and color together. We don't have to color the same thing or feel pressured to do anything. We just hang out and do. A friend of mine who I write with often, he's a long distance friend, but we've wrote for years. He's trying to work on a book and he knows I like to write. So he's like, I'd like to see what you have worked on. And I'm like, I haven't really worked on a story in a long time. Like, I had one that I was doing, but I hadn't worked on it in like 3 years because I just fell off of it. It was based on a dream that I had, and I thought the dream needed an like a real ending, and I thought that it would be a compelling story, so I just decided to write it out. And um not for anyone or not because I planned to have it published, but just because I wanted to write it out and um see where I could take the story with this dream that kind of cut off at random. So I was like, I haven't worked on it in years, but I could send you that. And he was like, okay. He goes, do you mind if I like add comments to it or like give you advice on things? And I'm like, well, not, no, I don't mind, but just so you know, I don't intend to have this published. Like, it was just for me, really. I've only shared it with a couple of other people, and mainly because they've asked me about it. So, and he was like, oh, you could do this and do this and do this, and what's this about and what's that about? Because the dream that I had based it on, uh, I was in the dream, we had got a new pastor in our church. And this isn't going to be preachy about religion. This is just what the dream is about. But for context, our previous pastor had just retired from being a pastor at the church, and we had gotten a new preacher. Well, in the dream, the day starts out as normal. I go and get ready for church, and we go to church, right? And the pastor, the new one, comes around and he's like staring at me, and not in a nice way or in like a flirty way, but like he's ticked at me, and I'm like, so I'm on edge now. Like, why is he staring at me like I stepped on his cat? Like, like horribly staring at me. And this is in the dream. Just to clarify, the first bit was context. This part's the dream. This didn't actually happen. It was a dream. But he comes up to me and he goes, "What are you?" Like angrily, like furious. I'm like, "Excuse me? Huh? What do you mean, what am I?" And it caught me off guard because I was just minding my own business. We didn't really know each other because he's new to the church. I was like, "Huh?" He goes, "What are you?" And he looks to my side where a Flareon was sitting, and he goes, "I can see her. What are you?" And okay, at this point, I'm like, I'm gonna play dumb. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about, because clearly I can see the Flareon, and he could too, and I don't know how he could, but he could. And so I'm like, I'm playing dumb, and he's mad at me, and he comes like at me in the pew, like I'm trapped in a pew. And if you know anything about church pews, those are incredibly tiny areas. And he kind of like grabs me by the neck in the dream. And I'm like, what is happening? He goes, I know what you are. And I'm like, let me go. Let me go. I'm not playing this. Well, somehow we were able to get away and run out of the church. And then it just kind of ended. And I was like, I could do something with this. It was just strange. And you know what the weirdest bit is? He ended up not being the nicest person. Like, he just seems kind of mean and very self centered for a preacher. It's like, I came to church to hear about God, not about what you got going on in your life. How does this relate to anything you're talking about scripture wise? Like, he was just a very self centered man. Not to discredit anyone, and I'm not saying names, but it's like in a weird way, I subconsciously knew that I didn't trust him, but I don't know. It was weird. So I'm like, I want to see where I could take this story and see if I could get the turn the dream into an actual story. So that's what I sent my friend. And I told him that I did tell him that the story was based on a strange dream I had, and I was trying to expand it. But we're no longer in that church, by the way. Not because of anything the preacher did, but because my grandma moved, so we couldn't go to that church. But yeah, and he was giving me advice on what I could do to fix the story, and I'm like, that's when I said this story wasn't even intended to be published, and I haven't worked on it in years. So don't hate too much. Like, it was just a for me kind of story. I don't know. I don't feel like confident enough to turn it into an actual published book. And I don't really want to be an author. I just enjoy writing random ass stories sometimes. I mean, that's how uh, Fury Hound and I became friends. Was we were writing stuff together. The noise goes quiet. I don't have to hide it. Sorry, I'm listening to music in the background and I like this song. I'm not using the fanciest colored pencils either. It's just a hodgepodge of random ones. Some have the tippies on the bottom, some don't. Just, they're just, I don't stick to one colored pencil or another. I just like colored pencils. Although I did try watercolor pencils one time. I don't know how I feel about those because they're really odd. Like, they're handy if you want to save space and save time, I guess. But I don't think, like, I would rather stick to normal colored pencils or acrylic paint because those are the two things I use on a normal basis. Excuse me. Excuse me. Me. I have seen, like, I've seen people do incredible art pieces with the, I don't, they start out with like alcohol markers and make that the base, and then they go back in and fix it with colored pencils. I'm like, I don't know how people make that look so cool. like I want to try it, but part of me is scared to try it because I don't think that any of the paper that I have could hold up to the markers. But the art pieces that people are able to make doing that, I'm like, how? I hate working with markers. And I never would have thought to combine markers with colored pencils to get you a better range and a better, like when you're coloring with colored pencils, right? No matter how well you go over it, it's got that, like, um, I guess you would say it looks kind of grainy-ish to it. Like this has been gone over a lot. And there are tools like, I could grab one, hold on. There are tools like this where this one's just like cardboard and it's meant to, like, you take it over your drawing and it's supposed to smooth out the stuff for you. And then this one does the same thing as like in a more, it's kind of like a brush more than cardboard. And it's supposed to smooth it out for you. But I feel like it ends up wiping a lot of it off more than smoothing it out. Far Cry? You want me to stream Far Cry? Why is it all the question marks? Just spamming question marks. I guess I could try this in the lighter areas. But this is why a drawing takes me forever. I don't even know if you could tell what I've done from when I started. Not a drawing, but a coloring. And another thing that is weird about this coloring book is a lot of the dragons don't have pupils in their eyes. I don't know if that's intentional. Like, clearly this one has an eye, but it only has an eye because I drew the eye in. How many times can I say I in one sentence? But that pupil, that slit, that wasn't there. It was just empty blankness. And I had to do the same thing with the other one that I did. That blue pupil wasn't, that blue eye wasn't there. It was just white emptiness. I don't know what AI or what AI has against eyes, but it's like, why do so many of these not have eyes? Why is it just blank voids? Like, here's a good example. This one doesn't have an eye either. Not that one, this one. This one does. A very slight one. That one doesn't. That's how most of them have been so far. Just completely blank, nothing in the eye. I'm like, what does AI have against eyes, man? Some of them get better. Like, here's another good example of, like, how are you supposed to color that? Look at those. Those are fully rendered drawings. I didn't draw these, by the way. This is in the coloring book. This is a coloring book. I didn't draw any of these. I wish I could draw like that. When I was working on the one Saturday, my uncle and my other aunt ended up stopping by my grandma's, and we were in the middle of coloring. Well, she was painting, I was coloring, and my uncle goes, "Did you draw that?" I was like, "Huh, I wish. I wish I could draw like that. No, I'm just coloring it. Just coloring it." But I like coloring. Honestly, if I was going to create anything myself, I think it'd be painting. I like painting landscapes. Now, hands, mm-mm, I hate hands. I stopped doing hands when I tried to draw some random anime character. Looking back at it now, can never remember his name from Fruits Basket. The gray-haired one that's a dog. But it was him, and I was trying to draw him in that pose he does where he has his hand up like this somehow. And my friend goes, "Your hands look like penises." And I'm like, "I think I'm done not trying to draw hands." Because, like, no matter what kind of tutorial I've done, I've looked at my own hand, I've looked at other people's hands, I've looked at tutorials for hands, and they never come out right. So, hands are the bane of my existence. Whenever I do draw a person, they don't have hands. Like, I find a way, whatever possible, to cut the hands out of the damn drawing because I don't want to draw them. There's probably easier ways to do it, but I don't know. Difficult for me. Furyhound, if you're still here, what drawing are you working on? Or are you working on any at all? I don't mind hearing about your projects. I think it's cool to see what other people are working on. I think the next one I want to do is this one right here. And I'm going to do the teal, purple, and blue because I think that sounds like a really cool combination. And then if I'm making Tarin, she has a second dragon in the book that's a little gold feather tail. But I'm not quite sure which one fits her. And Durnia, or however you say her name. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce her name. But I kind of want to do her too, like in her golden form, because she has like a young golden form that she does have, and in the later books she chooses to match Taran in his black color. This one right here, these two are gonna be difficult to color. Those are gonna be difficult. Like you could get really cool with those ones though. Like in those the calming coloring books where they're all different shapes and stuff. Although I feel like ones like these take a long time to color because you do have so many choices on what colors are gonna go where. My grandma tried one of those like calming coloring books one time where it's just a bunch of shapes that form a picture. She goes, "Those stress me out." I'm like, "They stress you out? What do you mean? They're supposed to do the opposite." And she goes, There's just too many choices and too many decisions on what you want to go where. Why can't we just color it? This one I straight up want to make a stained glass window. Tell me that doesn't look like a stained glass window. That could be so cool. Like a golden dragon with like cool backgrounds. Or maybe not even golden, like you could do like a light blue dragon with pink and gold accents in there. And then color the leaves, either fall colors or just different colored greens. That'd be cool. That might be the one I do after the one I want to turn teal, blue, and green. Because that's pretty. These again are two more examples of how you color that. How do you color that? This one looks like Scar. I could make it Scar as a dragon because I made a Simba dragon. I could do Scar. I don't know. Decisions. Like I get so many ideas and then I want to do them all at once and I'm like, eh. This was another one I almost decided to make Taran. That was the second one I was debating doing Taran. That one right there. Because he's like described as like this grumpy, disgruntled old man dragon who thinks he's better than everyone else. But I felt like this one just fit a lot more. So that's what I chose. Another thing that makes coloring so cool is you could get a group of people together, give them the same exact coloring page, and they could make completely different arts out of it. Everyone has their own style of shading, their own color choices, their own things they want to add to the drawing because you don't have to sit with just the coloring page itself. You can add stuff, take away stuff. Well, maybe not take away stuff, but you can add stuff in like I did with the eyes or with the horn because it needed a secondary horn in the first one I did, and for some reason the AI was like, nah, this is good. We'll stick with this half-assed bump. And that's the thing about AI that I really hate. Like there was no skill involved in this coloring book. It was just have AI make a bunch of drawings and throw them in the book. In other coloring books, real illustrated artists had to put their art into the books. Or the creator of the coloring book had to get permission to use previously existing art pieces in the book. With this, you could just throw it together and call it good in like a matter of hours. And it's like that with music now, even. Like, you have to even pay attention if the music you're listening to is AI or not. Because, like, there was this song that I came across on YouTube because I was listening to music a while ago. And I was like, oh, this is a cool song. Obviously, the video looked AI, and that made sense. I'm like, maybe I'll just look up the lyric video for this song because the video is clearly AI. Well, it turns out the whole band is fake. So now not only can you not trust that art is made by actual artists and not a computer program, but now you also can't trust that music was made by actual artists and producers and not just someone throwing a prompt into AI. And like, I have friends that no matter how much I say I dislike AI, they're like, oh, you just don't get it. Da, 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 da. I'm not talking about generative AI. No, I dislike AI in every form. because it's all AI and it's all dangerous. And I don't know, it's just depressing when you think about like these could have been done by actual artists with actual skill, and because the AI were fed these artists' work, it learns from them and learns how to replicate their style. The AI can replicate styles like that in just a couple prompts. And I guess what I'm saying is it seems like a very not scary in the sense of oh my gosh, it's world ending, but like it's scary for people who are creative people nowadays because like I said, with this being AI and not being able to know if the bands you're even listening to are real people now and not machines, or even videos like the shorts, you would not believe the amount of AI shorts that are clearly AI generated that I come across. That's part of the reason why I stopped watching YouTube shorts so much, is because it was just getting filled with like AI videos that didn't have a real person behind them. And yeah, now, right now, we can tell that things are AI and nobody actually made it. But where does it get to a point that we can't tell? Or that people get away with not disclosing that the video is AI? AI is dangerous for so many more reasons than people wanted to talk about, especially when you get into AI deepfake videos, where it makes it look like someone is in the video that is clearly not there. Like, I don't like AI. We do not need tech that learns. We do not need tech with a brain. Technology is a tool, it doesn't have to have a brain. You don't see screwdrivers with a brain. Why are we giving technology a brain? Technology is a tool, it's a social platform. We do not need fucking AI. We don't need AI in music. We don't need AI in art, especially. We definitely don't need AI in our movies and stuff. And one of my friends, who is very much a Star Wars nerd, is like, I want an R2D2 running around. And I'm like, good for you. I don't, because it takes one malicious person to tap into that robot to make that robot do bad things. And tell me, why do we need robots that can learn? Why do we need robots that are starting to look more and more humanoid? If you've ever seen the movie I, Robot, starting to feel like that. And I, frankly, do not want that. As much as I like having my computer and being like and making videos and stuff like that, I think technology is at a point we need to stop before we go too far. Technology is fine where we're at. And I know I sound like an 80-year-old woman who's like, oh, you kids and your technology. I know, I get it. I sound like an 80-year-old woman, but I'm not. It's just, I don't like it. And I don't care what anyone else says, I'm never gonna like it. And I try to avoid it as much as possible. But it's getting harder and harder to avoid every day. I mean, honestly, I've gotten to a point where I'm like, I kind of wanted to delete most of my social medias. Like, I'm not on many to start with, but I don't think we need it. Like, I've even tried to delete Facebook off my phone, and you can't because for some reason Facebook is considered a system app. Like, why is Facebook a system app that your phone needs to have to function? The fuck? It's a social media app. Why is it considered a system app? I don't understand that. It doesn't let you delete it because it wants you in the trap. But my whole point in that is real artists could have gotten revenue from making this. Instead, it was just some lazy person that took AI prompts, stuck them all in a book, and put a price tag on it. And you could say, oh, it's okay because you still got the product you paid for. Eh, no, it's not, because that AI draws off of other artists' styles. Whatever art you feed it is what it learns from. You didn't put in the effort to make this coloring book. You're just profiting off it. And the more and more we let people get away with that, the worse and worse and worse and more rampant it's going to be. Like, down to AI taking your order at McDonald's or at fast food restaurants. Like, where's the line, guys? Can we draw one? Because it needs to be drawn before we end up living in iRobot. For real. Because I don't want to live in that movie. Don't want to live there. And you could say, oh, it's never gonna get to that point. But then you sit there and look at some of these robots that are starting to become more and more humanoid looking. Why do we need humanoid looking robots? And that's what, like, I don't know, it's just sad. Especially for, like, actual creative people in this world. Everybody's like, well, I could do it much faster with AI. Yeah, of course you're doing it faster. You're letting a program do all the work. You're not putting in the effort to make the pieces that are going into the book. I mean, even down to the books you read. Like using AI to completely write it. And you could tell because it looks like slop. I don't know. There's got to be a point we stop with it. That's all I'm saying. Like, AI in video games are one thing because they're set to only be able to learn so much. And someone still had to program that AI to be able to have it learn so much of the game so it could do its thing. That's like a non learning AI. Or like it only learns so much. But it needs to know a little bit about the game to at least function and complete its function in a game. But it can't learn beyond that game. It can't grow beyond that. It's fixed. I guess you could call it a fixed AI. I'm talking about like the AI that literally can learn off of others' work. That's where it gets bad. That's where it gets bad. This is why I have this scrap paper in the book. You can see the dragon I'm coloring because on the other side of that dragon is this one. It's literally the first page. So if I didn't have that scrap piece of paper there, it'd be bleeding onto the other side. I'm wondering if I could get like those plastic, like the really skinny plastic folder dividers and like tape it in there to cover the pages to keep it from being able to do that, but I'm not sure. I don't know if anybody's tried that. If you have tried it, does it work? I mean, I don't see why it wouldn't work, but I'd be grateful for some tips. Because bleeding onto the other page is not fun. This might be the first coloring book I ever actually finish. Because when I get a coloring book, I have a bad habit of like coloring one or two things and then never picking that coloring book up again. Is that just a normal thing? Do other artists do that too, or do you stick with a coloring page and a coloring book until you're finished with it and then get a new one? Because I'm really bad at sticking with them. Hmm. Yeah. We're getting closer on the face. I feel like I'm a really snow colorer. Somebody's jamming. Bumping music. If I don't get this done, I might work on it tomorrow. I don't know. Or I might play some more ZA and try to finish the Pokedex. The Mega Deck, anyway. Or, not the Mega Deck. I already finished the Mega Dex. I have to get, Baxcalibur and Latios and Latios. You may or may not be getting a video of my journey with Pokemon ZA. But I make no promises. It's just gonna be like little snippets of my journey because I had already taken some videos of it and I was like, you know what? I kind of want to turn this into a video. Not because I want to put it out there, but because I just want to keep it. I'm enjoying this game and I want to keep it. But that video is not going to be done until I'm done with the game. I think Pokemon ZA might honestly become the first ever game I have 100% complete. As long as I can find the hyperspace scans to get the rest of the Pokemon I'm missing from the decks. If you guys have played that game, what are you thinking of it? Because I've heard very mixed opinions. And like I said, I went into that game kind of blind. Sure. I mean, I didn't even know it was a sequel to. I guess technically my friend said it's a sequel to X and Y, but it's a Legends game, so you would think it'd be a sequel to Legends Arceus, which I also haven't really seen anything of. But at first I was like, I don't know how I feel about this game because the male character for me, because I'm playing a female, obviously I am a female. The male character for me holding my hand the whole time got really obnoxious. And I'm like, how long are you going to hold my hand and not let me go anywhere? But once that character backed off and let me explore the city, it got a lot more fun. But I spent a good chunk of the game assuming that the city was just the starting area. And I was like, wah wah, this is the whole thing. And we only get a couple of different areas if you get the Mega Dimension DLC. And it's like, why couldn't we have had different areas in the base game? Why was it just the city? But aside from that, the game's pretty fun. I was iffy with the combat at first because I've never played a Pokemon game that has that style of combat. I've only played the older games that have the turn-based style combat. So I was like, I don't know how I feel about this yet. But it grew on me. But oh my goodness, doing those battles with a timer, oh, doing those battles with a timer makes them so much more intense. If you want an intense Pokemon battle and you want to be racing against the clock to get there, that's some reason you could get the DLC. Because that DLC being against the clock and you could get knocked out this time instead of just your Pokemon was like, wait, because you take like 3 to 4 hits before you're done. So oftentimes the boss will ignore your Pokemon completely and go straight for you. They're like, we're going for the squishiest thing first, and that's you. So there's that extra layer of pressure in the battles. Now, when you're in the like player versus player battles or battling the NPCs, they won't attack you. But the wild Pokemon and the rogue megas are like, you're the target because you're the weak link. And it's like, well, they're not wrong. We can't hit back. We just gotta run for our lives. I think the hardest fight for me in that game was, how do you say it? I always want to say Zorua. It's Zora Aura. Zora Aura. The cat Pokemon? I don't even know. Is it gonna give me Zoroark if I look it up? Zora Aura Pokemon. Why does it keep sending me to eBay? What the hell is up with that? I never use eBay. I don't even have an eBay account. Every time I want to search something on Google, it's like, oh, you meant eBay, right? No, I typed what I meant to type. Get out of here. It's, this one. Wrong screen. Hold on. Huh? What am I doing? Please hold. I'm trying to get there. Where is my screen? Is it this one? No, that's the other screen. Wait, what if I... There we go. Hi. It's this one. This fight right here, I thought Mega Bayonet was hard. I thought Mega Bayonet was hard. This fight, this thing moves so fast and it sends out jolts of lightning that like sling through the ground. And if you don't dodge at the perfect time, you're getting barbecued. You're getting barbecued. This fight kicked my butt. It knocked me out probably like 8 times. Me, specifically, my character. It knocked me out like 8 times. And I'm like, dude, the only thing that made Bayonet so annoying was it wouldn't sit still. So it would run down the clock because it would teleport a lot, and then uh it had like shadow clones basically that it would make that would it would force you to target that. But this, it's like I'm gonna be super lightning fast, and I'm also gonna send lightning throughout the whole arena. And then, nope, I had a easier time fighting Rayquaza than I did fighting this thing. Like I would rather fight Bayonet again and have the clock run down than get knocked out a million times because this thing is freaking fast. My Pokemon did decent damage to it. The damage wasn't the issue. It was just my character being squishy and the cat being like, "You're the target because you're the squishy one." But that boss fight sucked. It sucked. But it was fun. And I like Zora. I think it has a cool design in general, and then it has a cool Mega. Mega Evolution was such a smart step for Pokemon because it's already has chains of evolution, right? And then they took it one step farther and they're like, oh, but what if Pokemon, because of their bond with people, had this temporary evolution that they could use in battle? And it's so cool. And I think that that was a good idea. I don't know what went on with the Gigantamax stuff. I haven't played the games with like the Gigantamax and stuff in them. And I think the Z move was kind of a step backwards. Like, I know, obviously, that they didn't make the Z moves first, but with the way Pokemon works, you would think that, oh, they would discover that Pokemon have the ability to use this special move first, and then that could transition into, oh, not only could Pokemon use special moves with when they have a good bond with their trainer, but that they could have a secondary temporary evolution if they have a good enough bond with their trainer. And Gigantamax was not needed. Gigantamax was just a weird step, I think. Not that I've played the games with the Gigantamax in them, but I've seen them played, and it's like, this feels like such a downgrade from Mega Evolution. And apparently, I'm not the only one that thinks that Mega Evolution was a great step for Pokemon because every, like, thing I've heard about it is like why Mega Evolution is so cool. I don't really have a favorite Mega Evolution Pokemon. I just think it's a neat concept. I wish the Evolutions had a Mega though. Sadly, they don't. But that'd be a lot of designing for them to do because there are 8 different evolutions, and having to make a Mega for all of them. Heck, you could even play with that because Eevee's the evolution Pokemon. That's literally why it's called Eevee. It's an evolution Pokemon. But you could play with that. You could have all the evolutions be able to Mega Evolve without needing a stone because Eevee's DNA is so unstable. That could be fun. They've had Pokemon Mega Evolve. Like in ZA, they do say that Mega Evolving without a trainer is incredibly like painful for the Pokemon because it's the bond between trainer and Pokemon that helps that Pokemon go past their normal evolution state. But with Eevee, there have been There was an Eevee in the manga that could transform between its forms at will, and then there was an Eevee in the anime that could use all the moves that its evolutionary line can. So they've played with that idea with Eevee before, and I think that it would make sense to have Eevee evolve, like Mega evolve by itself, because it's stated that Eevee's DNA is so unstable, and that's why it's able to evolve into so many different things. Like, Pokemon themselves have stated that Eevee is the evolutionary Pokemon. So it makes sense that Eevee wouldn't need that stone to Mega Evolve without it being painful like it is with the other Pokemon. I don't know, just something to play with. I don't know if they're ever going to do that, but I know Pokemon and that they're aware of how popular Eevee and its evolutions are. So it wouldn't surprise me if they did something like that, like in playing with that fact. I've been live for an hour and a half already. Wow. But I think that'd be a fun idea to play with. Sometimes coloring hurts my hand. I don't know if I push on my pencil too hard or if it's just having my hand in the same position for a long time. Does it hurt your guys' hands when you color for too long? I don't know if I'm going to get to the background or not, but there's no rush to finish this. I'm finally to the top of his head. Woo! I told my mom that my aunt got me a coloring book, and she goes, she does realize you're an adult, right? I'm like, well, yeah, but it's dragons. And she goes, oh, it's dragons. You don't want to listen to this song. That's not what I clicked on. YouTube has been so weird lately in terms of using it. I don't know what's going on. I would say it's my browser, but it does it on my phone too. Like, I'll click on a video and it'll be like, oh, you clicked on this one. I'm like, no. Or it'll just randomly not load at all when everything else on my computer works fine. I don't know if YouTube servers are getting flooded or what's going on, but I'm not the only one that's talked about having that issue. So if this is not running right for you, I'm sorry. I don't know what to do about it. Yeah. I don't usually color my drawings in segments like this. I don't know why I decided to do it. Because, like, usually when I'm working on a drawing, I'll do the whole base colors first and then go back in. But I'm like, I'm just going to color it in segments. I started on, like, the bottom of his mouth, and then I went to his, like, chest, belly area. Then I went to, like, his spiky head, and then I went to his horns, and now I'm on the top of his head. I don't know why I'm doing that. It's just where I'm going. I guess. It's just where I'm going. I'm thinking purple for the background. Purple and tan. Because I was thinking, oh, you're going to have lightning in the picture because he brings his rider lightning. But I feel like that'd be for like a stormy sky, and there's already so much black and gray in the dragon itself that I feel like the background needs some color. And for some reason, purple and tan was what I landed on. But I'm like still debating on if that's actually what I want to stick with or not. Because like purple and tan contrasted by like the dark dragon with like light blue whitish lightning in the background. But I'm not sure how that's gonna look. So I'll have to play around with it. I was just making sure my desktop audio is still muted because I'm listening to music in the background as I do this. And I do not feel like getting copyright struck because I unmuted my desktop. That would suck. Also, that's another thing. While I'm on the topic of copyright, I don't think that the AI videos, the um, and the AI bands should be monetizable. I don't think that they should be monetizable because nobody put in actual work to make those things. I don't know if YouTube has a policy on AI videos and not being able to be monetized, but I really hope they're not monetizable anyway. Sorry, this coloring book being AI seeming has me on the whole I don't like AI tangent. It's like I don't like AI, and I'm not sorry about it. Like it's fine if you want to play with it, but I don't think that you should be able to get monetary value for something you didn't even make yourself. That's called plagiarism. AI is the perfect plagiarizing tool. And when did plagiarism stop being frowned upon and actively becoming encouraged and monetizable? Like, where did the shift happen? Because plagiarism used to be discouraged and punished. And the AI's got to learn from something, from somewhere. So, that's where I leave that. My hand is starting to cramp. My brother and I were playing Far Cry 5? Yeah, 5. Earlier. Oh, that gets intense. We were doing a mission, and it was one of the starting missions because I had never played the game before. And he was driving along with me, right? He was the driver. Um, I was pew-pewing the cultists in the game. I was shooting the cultists in the game. And all of a sudden, we just hit a tree, and my brother vanishes from the game. And I'm like, why did you get out of the car? We have to destroy these barricades. And then he went doop off of the Discord call, and I'm like, what just happened? Well, apparently, mid mission, his game, his whole entire computer just decided, I'm shutting down now. I think he fixed the issue, but I had thought, like, he hit the tree and vanished, so I thought either it was a glitch or he got out and I didn't see him get out. I was sat in the car for a couple of seconds before I even realized, oh, I was like, why did you stop? I look over, he's completely out of the car. I'm like, what happened? Did you get out? Nope. His whole computer decided, I'm done for now. I'm done. I thought that was funny. That looks kind of wonky. That looks wonky. Rah. I'm giving him a unicorn horn over there at the top. I'll color it in. But I'm not joking when I say this might be the most black I've ever used in one art piece, coloring wise. I have painted whole canvases black before, but that was just a starting point because I was making a like space scene. But in terms of coloring, I usually avoid black. But I wanted to make the old grumpy dragon from this book series I'm enjoying. And he's black. So it looked wonky. Sorry, I can't tell what his nose is doing. If you're wondering what my confused expression was about. AI likes to melt stuff. It's like, oh, it starts out good and then it just deteriorates and melts into each other. It's like, I'm melting. I'm melting. I would fly on a dragon in a heartbeat if I could. Like, I don't much like heights, but if I had a giant ass dragon under me that I knew would catch me, I would at least try it once. At least once. But in terms of anything else, nothing. No, thank you. I don't want to listen to this song. There YouTube goes again, being stupid. I don't know what's up with YouTube lately. What the hell is happening? Stop. Okay. But yeah, next week I will be back with Pac-Man. Hopefully I can beat the tree. That tree level was hard enough the first time, but luckily it's similar to the first tree level we fight, so that's why I was able to get as far as I was as easily as I did, because if you had watched those live streams, you'd know getting to that point was nowhere near easy for me. I wish I could cheese a level like that. Just like, oh, that looks super easy, because it was. No, it only looked easy because I've actually done this level probably 30 times. Probably. But I think that that's the last, like, level before Spooky. So, we might almost be done with Pac-Man. If I can get through the tree level. Who knows how many tries it's going to take me to get through again. But we'll see. It can't be anywhere near as bad. It hasn't been as bad as the whale. I don't know why on earth I struggled as hard with the whale as I did. It didn't help in that fight that for some reason you get hit out of nowhere. And that's only ever been a problem in that one specific boss fight. None of the other boss fights have had that, like, oh, you got hit by nothing problem. Which I think that was a big part of my struggle of getting through that boss fight, was the fact that you did get hit by nothing surprisingly often in that boss fight. It's like the ghosts were cheating. The ghosts were like, let me put in a hit hack or whatever you want to call it. Damage hack. They were cheating, that's what it was. They turned their bullets invisible. It could have been a hitbox issue, but kind of bites you in the butt, and you just have to do nothing but get through it. Let's see if this thing actually works. Question is, do I use the cardboard one or do I use this one? Coloring tool. What else needs? Ooh, that's kind of nice. Although, question is, Is it gonna, like, if I want to use it on a different color aside from black, is it gonna transfer it to the other drawings? Kind of. So maybe I should stick with using this for black. If you get one of these, probably get a pack of them to use on different colors, and then make sure you're careful with only using that one specific color on the one specific brush, because it does bleed onto the paper of, so it will bleed into your other colors. So if you want to try this little smudger tool, just keep that in mind, because it will transfer the color to your other page, and then you're gonna look muddy. But it does work. I did that on scrap paper, by the way. I have this scrap paper that's making the dragon as I'm coloring because of the other picture. But I think I'm done for now. My hand is starting to get crampy. But this was kind of fun, just talking and coloring. But I think I'm going to call it here, guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope to see you next time. Next time, we're playing Pac-Man and trying to beat that stupid tree. We'll see.